It's Soccer Sunday in Spokane as Week 11 of the USL Super League rolls on. Spokane's captain Taylor Almer is the general of the midfield for Zephyr FC. She's got 2 goals on the year, and with a number of players on international duty, they'll turn to her to maintain their offensive prowess. On the other side, Sydney Nacello, the unpredictable in the best way winger, has been a steady force up top for the Sun. Can she get on the board here again tonight? We'll find out soon. This is the USL Super League on Peacock. Welcome to One Spokane Stadium in beautiful Spokane, Washington. With 3-time D1 All-American and Hall of Fame soccer player Renee Washington, I'm Bridget Howard, bringing you all the action for the first ever meeting between Spokane Zephyr and Tampa Bay Sun. Renee, it hasn't been too long since Tampa Bay last took the pitch. They're coming off a 2-1 loss to Brooklyn FC on Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's in a 2-1 loss where they led 1-0 in the early minutes with a goal in the first 5 minutes and then conceded a goal late and weren't able to hold on to it for the win. Frustrations there when you have a chance to get a result and you fall short. They felt like they had opportunities. They did not make the most of them, but most importantly for them, it was in the 18s. Their offensive 18 and their defensive 18 where they felt like things fell apart, and that goal by Sydney Nacello was not enough to get a result.
Prior to that midweek loss in New York, Tampa Bay had been outstanding on the road, going undefeated in their matches away from home, as you see here.
Yeah, so now as they make their cross-country trip, trying to get back in the win column, looking to pick up some points today as they're in their first meeting against Spokane of the season.
Well, we talked with head coach Denise Schulte-Brown about the international players they were able to add to bolster this roster, and Cecile Flood-Nielsen has been the standout, scoring 2 goals in just 3 matches.
Yeah, she's been phenomenal with the brace that she had against DC in that 3-0 win. She's also been great at generating chances, has had 3 of her 6 initial shots on target. She wins her 50-50 battles, gets into the box, and helps them to be a threat getting forward.
Well, of late, Spokane has really struggled in the month of October, going 0-2-1 over their last 3 matches.
Yes, and for Spokane, as you talk about the struggles, needing to get a win here, it's been over a month since they last won in general. They've scored 5 goals in that stretch, but they've given up 6 and haven't been able to get results.
Well, some big names will be absent from the lineup tonight for Spokane, but for good reason. Amina Ekic headlining the group along with Sophia Braun and Riley Tanner, who have been called up to represent their countries. An exciting honor for those 3, Renee. Yes,
it's bittersweet. It's exciting for them, but also means this club has some big shoes to fill. And Amina Ekic, with her goals that she provides, the assists as well with 2 each, going to be a big loss for them offensively.
Well, with Ekic away, Jenny Vetter will play. Joe Johnson told us they're excited to see what she can do with more minutes tonight.
Yes, and as Johnson mentioned, she just hasn't had the opportunity. They've been encouraged to see how she's been performing in training. They're excited to see what she can do with more opportunity. Typically a 15 to 10-minute player, but now getting more opportunity. She's got pace, she's got vision, and also provides a different look in their attack.
The last home match of the fall season for Spokane Zephyr. The fans are excited and they're hoping that they can make them proud before they hit the road. It's Tampa Bay Sun and Spokane Zephyr right here on Peacock. Lineups and first kick coming your way.
New flavors. Same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
This is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of a movement, and this is our moment.
We all have goals, But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I don't care. I paint the town red.
If you can survive this, it's going to make the whole story that much better.
The bright horses have broken free from the fields.
Back at One Spokane Stadium as we get set for first kick between Spokane Zephyr and Tampa Bay Sun. Let's take a look at the starting lineups as we get set for first kick. The starting 11 for Spokane. Big one to note, a new keeper. Hope Heisey earning her first start, and Julian Valorant, the outside back, also earning her first start of the season.
Yes, we also highlighted Jennifer Vetter getting her first start as well up top. We talked about her in the open. Otherwise, a similar look. Taylor Allmer going to be a big role in the midfield for them, as well as their back line anchored by Clark and Cummings defensively.
As for Tampa Bay Sun, we knew they'd be making some changes, and it's Jade Moore, the international addition, making her first start in the central midfield for Tampa Bay.
Definitely needed to make some changes. Erica Timrak also gets to start up top as well, alongside of Nielsen and Nacello. And then, as you mentioned, with Moore in the midfield with Listro and Jamana, just a different look for Jamona and Listro in the midfield alongside Moore.
And Lauren Kozel back in net again for Tampa Bay Sun. We'll get a look at our head official tonight, Danielle Chesky. Tampa Bay rocking the yellow kits this afternoon. And we are off and running here in Spokane. Tampa Bay Sun and Spokane, their first ever meeting between these two clubs. And a quick throw-in for Spokane on the near side.
Well, the great thing for both of these clubs as they face off for the first time is they've had some games under their belt, so there's some film, there's some footage to learn about each other, but it's also new. You're facing someone that you haven't had a chance to play yet, so there's the excitement, the energy, and then this number 6 versus number 8 matchup, a huge opportunity for them to early on really show how they can set the tempo and put their identity and mark on this game.
Cecile Flunn Nielsen, Flo, the nickname they have for her amongst the Sun. Getting some early touches along with Sydney Nacello. Jade Moore turns to try and put this ball across, and it'll be a goal kick for Spokane. Our first look at Hope Heisey, the Tucson, Arizona native. Was a 4th round draft pick in the NWSL last year.
And already we're seeing the visiting Tampa Bay Sun out on the attack, just winning 50-50 balls. That's something that's a big game changer often. Not only competing, but being able to win and control first and second balls, getting your team extra possessions. And for this team, that's something that's going to be very crucial to be able to start the game off this way.
Well, in talking with Tampa Bay Sun head coach Denise Schulte-Brown earlier this week, we asked her, what are you looking to improve on in this game against Spokane, coming off that loss to Brooklyn on Wednesday night in the midweek matchup? And she said, everything. We were not sharp on passes. Our movement wasn't aggressive or consistent enough. The final third, holding the ball there, was not good. A tough collision here on the near side. Emma Jaskinek. To see her up and moving after that one. A tough fall, but a lot of things this Tampa Bay Sun team wanted to improve on, and they had a quick start after 21 days off prior to that Brooklyn meeting on Wednesday, and they had a fast start, exactly what they were looking for, but it petered off really quickly.
Yes, and to your point, Bridget, I think that's something both of these teams have been mentioning they need to improve on, just wanting to be better in the areas in the final third and their defensive third. That's something that Spokane spoke about as well. Head coach Joe Johnson wants his group to be more clinical and be better at executing in those areas. And I think both these teams, that's partly why this is a number 6 versus 8 matchup, because that is a difference maker in this league. The margin of errors are so small, and that's the difference between getting results and dropping them.
Kirsten Edmonds on the far side. Just out of reach of Marley Canales. Brooke Hendricks finds Jade Moore. And one thing to note with this Tampa Bay team, they start off in a formation, but I can promise you they don't end in that same formation. This is a team that moves a whole lot throughout matches, very fluid. And that's something we've talked with Coach Schulte Brown about. There's a lot of trust amongst this group, but with a number of players coming in late in the season, we mentioned those international additions, they're still trying to find their chemistry.
Yes, that's a very good point that you bring up. I mean, this is a team that has the confidence in their interchanging, and to go up against a Spokane team that's been scoring goals. Spokane, although not getting results, they have been scoring. We talked about their struggling period now that they're in. 6 of their 18 goals have come in the last 4 games for them, and they offensively are able to not only generate but then finish their chances. They just haven't been able to get results. 0-2-1 in their last 3 matches.
Here's a look at head coach Joe Johnson. Was a former assistant coach at the University of Tulsa. Began her coaching career as an assistant at UTEP. Sydney Nasello hits the deck. Be a restart in the midfield.
You can hear the wind whipping. It's definitely a windy one, and definitely something to keep an eye on, as anything in the air in terms of crosses, services, punts might get held up a little bit more in this contest.
You can certainly hear it this afternoon, and the Tampa Bay players wearing all their cold weather gear. They're not used to this. It's still warm in Florida.
It's always warm in Florida compared to the rest.
Jordan Listro trying to create some space. Jade Moore pops up with it. Sends it to Kirsten Edmonds.
And already you do see some of the interchanging from Tampa Bay, of just the fluidity in their movements, the runs off of each other.
Sydney Nasello taking it to the touchline. She plays it across, cleared out by Spokane. Here comes Spokane, quickly in transition. They get it up top. That's Julianne Valorand on the far side, the outside back, getting into the action. Now here comes Jennifer Vetter.
And Spokane with their first opportunity as they got forward there before it was disrupted and broken up by Tampa Bay. Again, this is a team that's, for Spokane, they are able to get forward, they are able to generate chances.
Back and forth ball on the far side. This one will roll out of bounds for a Tampa Bay throw-in. Quickly moving is the Sun.
You see Tampa Bay just very patient in their possession, working it around, especially with the organized block by Spokane, not forcing anything forward, and there's a mistake there. That's exactly what Spokane wanted, just keeping everything in front of them defensively to force a turnover.
Well, here are your keys to the game presented by Ford. Renee, what do you got for us this afternoon?
Yes, when you look at Spokane, it is about being clinical in all areas, especially the boxes. That's something that they've talked about, and what head coach Joe Johnson wants more from them is to be better in their attacking third and defensive third. And on the other side, for Tampa Bay, it comes down to transition play. That's an area they feel like they can expose Spokane's defense. You look at how organized Spokane is defensively right now. They're low block, while Tampa Bay wants to be quick of getting out in transition, taking advantage when Spokane attacks them and high presses to be able to unbalance them the other way.
Talia Stodd. Sends it forward. Here she is again. This ball will roll out of bounds. Here's a look at Jordan Listro, the captain for this Tampa Bay team. Played under Denise Schulte-Brown for a number of years at USF.
Has the USF connection very strong today in this contest.
This ball will trickle to Lauren Kozel. Emma Jaskinek right there waiting for a miscue.
This is kind of what you expected for these two facing off for the first time. Just settling in, not rushing anything, forcing anything. This is the time of the game where you're just trying to feel out your opponent. You've obviously watched film, you've had plenty of time to talk tactics and strategy, and now just seeing what they present you and how you're gonna make adjustments as the game goes on.
Defending here in the block for Spokane. As Tampa Bay looks to switch the field. Here comes Kristen Edmonds. She finds Jordan Listro. Here we see Talia Stodd. You can already see so much movement amongst this Tampa Bay team.
Well, it makes it difficult to defend, and you're constantly having to talk, stay organized, because every possession you're guarding a different player, you're matched up with someone else. So right now, Spokane really just trying to keep everything in front of them. Look at all the players back behind the ball.
Sydney Nasello once again in the corner. Good defending from Haley Thomas. Haley Thomas had stepped in, got her first start versus DC earlier this year, also had a goal in that match. Stodd switches the field. Edmonds plays it to the top of the box. Intercepted by Spokane. A little grab there from one of the Tampa players results in a free kick.
Definitely a little bit extra there, but as you look, Spokane compact defensively and then off to the races. We've seen that from them a few times now. They get very compact, everyone behind the ball, dropped in on defense, and then as soon as they win it, it's a direct ball forward, trying to connect up the field to Jaskinek and not really wasting any time. So something that's, you're seeing them just kind of bait Tampa Bay in, waiting to pick their moment to strike.
Edmonds plays it to Listro on the near side.
This is where for Tampa Bay, they are going to have to figure out ways to try to penetrate the Spokane defense, finding either your forwards or central midfielder that you can play through to split the seams.
Nasello puts it back into the box. And a poor clearance from Julianne Valorand. And it will be a corner kick, the first of the evening for Tampa Bay Sun.
Valorant immediately puts her hands up and says, apologies on that one. Does a good job of getting to that first ball, but does actually clear that out in a dangerous area back towards the goal, and also sets up for a corner kick here.
This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Erica Timrak set to take the first corner kick of the match. Timrak sends it in. On the end of it is Jade Moore. She sends it high and wide.
Well done as Erica Timrak drops this ball into the box, an out-swinging corner kick, and then look at Moore there. Jade Moore in her first start here nearly had the first of the goal of the game. If she could get that shot on frame, that's a goal with the pace that she put behind it. Does well to handle that volley first time. That's not an easy one.
There wasn't anyone around her in a Spokane uniform.
Take a look at this play again as we're highlighting Moore's great offensive opportunities. She gets brought down there, trying to poke that one to herself. That is a foul against Spokane. This sets up for Tampa Bay in a really good position on the field as well. They might look to go, you have some options here for what you decide to do off of this set piece.
A yellow card will be issued to Natalie Vigiano from head official Danielle Chesky.
Yeah, you take a look again at that foul. Vigiano with the knee comes into Moore.
Confirmation yellow card for Zephyr in the 14th minute. Yellow card given to number 15, Natalie Vigiano.
Looking at the stats ahead of this game, both teams even apiece at 17 yellow cards now. Spokane edges them out with 18.
Listen, statistically, these two teams are very even in a number of areas, and now they just took the lead in yellow cards. I don't know if that's a lead that you want, but it does give them one more yellow than the team in yellow.
Tampa Bay opts for the short pass. Viv Bissett tries to send it in. Rejected by Spokane, and she'll play it all the way back to Lauren Kozel.
This is where for Spokane, they do need to get their line higher. Every time you clear the ball, especially to the back line, or if the ball's going into the feet of Kozel, you've got to make sure you're stepping your line higher. There's a huge gap from their forward line to their back line that just gives them extra green to play with.
Tampa Bay works back defensively. Nacello looks for Nielsen. Sydney Cummings getting her 4th start of the season. Haley Thomas and Sarah Clark had been holding down the back line. With Taryn Reese going down last match, they had to make some changes on that back line. So Sydney Cummings now the right center back. Haley Thomas moved out wide. This ball played forward by Katie Murray, cleared out by Kozel.
We're also seeing the first consistent sequence for Spokane of sustained possession, getting some numbers forward. They had been struggling with how deep they were defensively, of flipping the script to the offensive side. And now you see the spacing, just working the ball around and making Tampa Bay chase this time.
That ball misplayed by Marley Canales. Tampa Bay now on it.
You see both teams just really in their possession, not getting overly forced, rushed, staying very calm, cool, and collected to work the ball around, taking their time. I think the bigger difference is that we've seen is Spokane is finding ways to try to play through the middle whereas we've seen a lot more of the perimeter possession, so to speak, for Tampa Bay, just around the outside, unable to connect with their central players.
Have to point out the way Emma Jaskinek positions her body there on those goal kicks for Tampa Bay. She really makes it challenging for Brooke Hendricks, Vivian Bassett. They have to be perfect with their balls that they play back because of the way that she runs and positions up top.
Exactly, and that's what you want, to make play predictable for your teammates defensively. Just using your body to help force them one way, and that's the little details that go such a long way. When you're pressuring, you're not just pressuring stepping flat, but you're forcing everything to one side so that your teammates behind you can follow suit.
Jaskinek with a tall task today. Keeping the offense going for this Spokane team with Amina Ekic out on international duty. Jaskinek, a player that head coach Joe Johnson told us she started finding her spots. We've had a lot of meetings together and we're seeing it in training as well. There's been a progression with her. Talia Stodd works back for that ball. Tampa Bay gaining possession.
You just see again the attempts to try to play through every time, just like that one. Spokane is on the other end of it. It's become kind of a pattern that we're seeing here. Tampa Bay just works it around between their back line, works it around the outside. Spokane, as you see, with everybody at midfield, keeping it in front of them, not getting caught stepping. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to get caught stepping, pressuring the wrong player.
Well, today's injury report is brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. A couple of players out for Spokane, along with Tampa Bay. Taryn Reese, most notably for Spokane. She was pulled down with a knee injury they're still working through, so it's what we were talking about earlier, those changes on the back line.
Yeah, that's a big loss for them as well, with Reese being out, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. Spokane's just been that next player up mentality, as this time of season, that's typically what teams are faced with. Injuries, fatigue, just trying to battle through the adversity.
Marley Canales taking hit after hit in the midfield. Miscommunication for Spokane. So we'll roll out for a throw-in.
And that's what we've seen from Spokane. They are able to at times get forward, as we saw from that play there. Julianne Valorand and Spokane trying to get up the pitch, just have been having some forced errors and turnovers that are the difference between keeping it. And now it just, you reset. It goes back to Tampa Bay. They're playing around the outside. The cycle repeats itself. So for Spokane, they've got to make sure when they do win the ball, they can keep it, sustain possession in their attack.
Haley Thomas takes this ball away from Sydney Nasello. She'll move up the pitch herself. Battling with Stodd. Gets it to the end line. And falling out of bounds, tries to put a ball across. Picked up by Tampa Bay.
A lot of contact on that play. Haley Thomas strong on the ball, trying to will her team forward down the left flank, but now also leaves a big gap down this flank that Tampa Bay's trying to expose.
Nasello tried to put some spin on that ball up top to Cecile Flood Nielsen. There we see Hope Heisey, the neon highlighter colored kit, and Erica Timrack nearly picks off that ball. A poor pass back from Sarah Clark.
Well, ironically, I was just going to say, I wonder if that last sequence was enough to kind of open the game up, and it looks like the game is starting to open up, and this is a scary play as Erica Timrack came thundering down against Hope Heisey. Starts to feel like both teams are taking some more risks getting forward as things open up.
Timrack on the corner kick. Roll to the near side. Tampa Bay will look for a second opportunity. Nasello. Nasello battling it out on this near side with Julianne Valorand.
We're already seeing so far in this game just the intensity of every 1v1 battle. This time it's now Tampa Bay getting forward. Nasello getting some contact here from Valorant, both strong on the ball, 1v1. Those are the good battles you enjoy seeing.
It is not an easy task guarding Sydney Nasello. Her ball control, touches, the skill that she possesses. As Carly Gimona told me earlier this week, she's so unpredictable. Something they love about her, something other teams probably don't.
Safe to say, you don't want a player that's unpredictable, that you're not sure what they're going to do. Tampa Bay has one of their own unpredictable creators and playmakers up top in Nasello. I think they're needing some of that creativity throughout, though, as you look at that unforced error. They're needing a little bit of that creativity. When the team defends you so compact, you need to find ways to be able to break their lines of pressure. And that dynamic movement, the creativity is usually what can help you do it. It can be off the dribble, it can be off the run. Just something different that can shift Spokane and pull them out of shape.
Quick touches on the near sideline. Back to the central part of the pitch. Great turn from Jenny Vetter as she moves towards goal. Vetter puts it across. Jaskinek with the touch. Spokane trying to get a touch. Jaskinek. Taylor Ulmer at the top of the box. A number of players for Spokane getting in on the action. Ball sent back towards goal. Nasello comes up with it at the top of the 18. And it will be a throw-in for Spokane.
How many blocks does it take? Jenny Vetter gets around that right edge, and look, 1, 2. Shot number 3 comes here, another sliding block, number 4. And then even the shot here attempt blocked again. I lost count. That's a lot of opportunities for Spokane. And how about Tampa Bay? Just everybody working back defensively to help out Lauren Cuzzle. You've got everyone throwing their body behind the ball, doing whatever they can to block it. 5, 6, 7 blocks in that sequence of events to keep this game scoreless.
Tampa Bay Suns, Viv Bassett, excuse me. Felt like she was in on all that there. Blocking shots from Spokane.
You need those moments where as a team, everyone is just laying their body on the line, doing whatever they can to help you make plays, and they're going to need that again here because this is a great spot on the pitch for Spokane. It starts to feel like they're getting something going offensively here. We saw that last sequence of 7 shots. You look here again, another opportunity now off of a set piece at a wide angle of the 18 that you can drive it across the box and run onto.
Marley Canales takes the kick. Ball played in, headed wide. Be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Canales drives this into the box very well, and then it's Sydney Cummings who gets on the other end of it, working up against Jade Moore. Cummings gets forward for that set piece and wasn't able to get enough on it towards Cage, but that's back-to-back attempts for Spokane.
We'll scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, De Leon's Taco and Bar, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Jimmy John's, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Steam Plant Restaurant and Brew Pub. That has me hungry.
Every time, I wasn't gonna say, I was fighting the urge so hard not to be that person. But every
it's okay,
time
I'll be
I'm
that
like,
person.
you know what? That looks delicious. Watching some Sunday soccer, getting some delicious food to fuel you up.
Sydney Nasello putting the pressure on. Jade Moore trying to get a touch. Taylor Almer works back defensively.
Well, as we're talking about food, Tampa Bay is hungry for a goal. Good opportunity there. That they've now been forcing some turnovers in some scary spots by Hope Heisey and Spokane's back line.
Play will roll on for a few battles and collisions. Taylor Almer, the captain. Haley Thomas. Joe Johnson was really excited to see Haley Thomas in that outside back position. Said she's really creative, has good vision, and looking forward to getting her into the attack and going forward. Hopefully that will unlock some things, and I think it's safe to say we've already seen some of that in the way that she's able to get into the attack for this Spokane team.
Yes, we have seen Thomas getting forward a number of times down that wide flank. Does a good job overlapping and joining into the attack, and for Spokane, they're going to need that. When you have your outside backs, when you have your midfielders able to get higher up the field and make those threatening runs forward, it really goes a long way to help run off your forwards to build and create. And Thomas has been doing a good job up and down this flank so far today.
Jade Moore keeps that ball in. Redirected by Spokane. Similar start in terms of possession this afternoon for Tampa Bay in comparison to their match on Wednesday versus Brooklyn FC. They're content dictating possession, keeping the ball, but it's a puzzle, as I like to compare it to when it comes to the final third, trying to unlock those pieces, figure out how they can get in behind.
Yes, and that is often the struggle for teams, because to be able to play and just possess and make the safe passes is one thing, but can you be more aggressive, more creative, dynamic as you're getting forward? And right now they're trying to figure that out, what that looks like, how they can bring that consistent edge to their attack.
Spokane players thought they had the throw in. Jordan Listro on the ball. She finds Kristen Edmonds on the far side. Edmonds, an extremely experienced player. He's played for Gotham FC, Orlando Pride, KC Current in the NWSL. Also played internationally in Russia, Iceland, a number of places. She brings a whole lot of experience to this Tampa Bay team.
And a fellow Jersey girl like myself. Now they're needing some of that experience in the attack to see what they can get going, as Tampa Bay still continuing to creep forward.
Listro serves this ball up, headed out by Thomas. Vigiano to Murray, Thomas. Nasello picks it off just outside the top of the 18. She'll take it herself. And a save from Hope Heisey clears it just wide.
Well, we're seeing the work rate that Cindy Nasello is bringing, able to quickly explode in open space, shifts her touch left to create enough of an window to get this shot off, and look at just how close that was. That's an incredible save by Hope Heisey. That one was headed to be tucked into the near post to make this a 1-0 game. Phenomenal save by Hope Heisey, and great work by Cindy Nasello. We talked about needing some creativity and flair in the final third. Nasello is bringing it.
Timrak has been active in the corner. Ball played in, headed back towards goal by Jade Moore. That corner kick brought to you by ICCU, your financial success fan club.
Well, that's unfortunate for Tampa Bay, unable to get that corner kick into a better position on in the box, I should say, in terms of their runs. They're getting forward, as you mentioned. They do get forward. Just have been missing that next piece.
Jade Moore has been finding loads of space alone in the box. I'm surprised Spokane didn't put someone specifically on her, as it's been seemingly clear who Timrak is trying to target.
Yes, and that's a few set pieces now. We've seen her drifting unmarked, and that's, you can only get away with so many times before it comes back to bite you.
Spokane so good in transition. That ball misplayed by Katie Murray. Turns possession over to Tampa Bay. Jamona. Jenny Vetter. You can see why Joe Johnson was excited for her to get more minutes. She plays it into the box, trying to find Majaskinik. Jamona in the corner. It'll be a goal kick for Tampa Bay.
Well, to your point, Vetter has been a bright light on the attack for Spokane, and you see the work rate she's bringing, the pace, looking to get around the edge, looking to find Emma Jaskinek and someone for Spokane in the box. They now have to make sure they go with her. We've seen a couple times now Vetter getting forward or Spokane getting forward with just one or two, and they're so deep defensively, they have to be quicker of getting up into the attack to join their front line. You're not going to be able to attack with just one or two players consistently.
Masello working her way to the far side of the pitch. Timrak finds Nielsen. Jade Moore lofts it over the top to Stodd. Jordan Listro will send it back. Stodd plays it across the box. Jamona way on the far side. Serves it back in.
Well, something that head coach Joe Johnson did mention for Spokane, wanting to be better not only on set pieces, but also just in their back post positioning on crosses in general.
Masello splits the defenders, weaves her way to the touchline, plays a great ball to the center part of the box, and no one there for Tampa Bay.
Well, there's some of that back post positioning for Spokane as they were able to get numbers in a good position to be able to clear that one out. That's something they've been missing on, of getting organized, picking up players, and making sure they're protecting the middle first, and then, of course, not giving up shots on these services.
Edmonds with the moves. She finds Jamona to Jade Moore. Jade Moore with the shot.
Good composure by Tampa Bay here. You look at this work by Kristen Edmonds, a nice crafty 1-2, and she's off. Quick pass, and then with Tampa Bay able to pin Spokane defensively so deep into their own 6, it opened up, you guessed it, number 12 again. Moore wide open, top of the box, looking for a shot. She's doing a tremendous job so far for Jade Moore, just drifting to find open space to receive the ball, peeling off of Spokane's defenders.
You can see why Denise Schulte-Brown put her in the starting lineup for the first time this season. And Sydney Nasello, with the speed, deflects this ball out of bounds from Hope Heisey.
Well, we've seen this a few times for Hope Heisey and Spokane. They have to be better at how they're possessing out of their back. Sometimes it's taking a little too long to get that pass forward. And you even look here, some of these back passes are highly contested. Not a spot on the field you want to be turning the ball over, and definitely don't want a deflection around your own goal.
Here comes Spokane. Vetter with the shot. Jade Moore finds Timrak. Now here's where they love. Flo Nielsen holds the ball up so well with her big frame. She does it there. Here comes Nasello. Nasello on the near side, inching closer to the 18, gets the shot off. Tampa Bay in the last couple of minutes really heating up on the offensive end.
They are, and that transition game is something that they wanted to be better at, of making sure they were building up the field, not turning the ball over, and just wanted overall to connect their passes. Well, you see it play out perfectly there to get the shot by Nasello. I think that's an area they've at times found themselves rushing, turning the ball over uncharacteristically and unnecessarily, essentially. This time just doing a good job of keeping it to build up in transition.
Spokane in transition once again. Vetter switches the point of attack. Vigiano gets a shot off. Kozel, iffy on the initial contact, but comes up with the save.
Well, we talked about Vetter in the open, and she's been lighting the offense up, igniting a little bit of a fire for them. This time able to switch the point of attack to find Natalie Vigiano, who does a good job of shifting her touch to come across the face of the goal, which does force an opportunity for her as Kozel was sliding, trying to get her feet set. But for Spokane, right now, Bridget, it's been a lot through Vetter. She's been the engine behind this attack. I imagine they should continue to play through her as much as they can. The run she's making, the ideas, and even the creativity she's bringing are tremendous.
Yeah, she's been quite the spark for Spokane. You can see why Joe Johnson was excited for her. Timrak with the great spin. Ball deflected, and how about that? Lands right in the hands of Hope Heisey.
Wow, in moments like this, you have to have a little hope. Hope Heisey with the tremendous save number 1, and that's the one there. Off the deflection, Erica Timrak's first shot blocked by Hope Heisey, but even off the rebound, Hope pops back up, makes the second save to keep the score. She's had some phenomenal saves so far, just great hands, reads the ball so well, and has been able to get there quickly. Nicely done.
Heisey getting her first minutes of the season, her first start on the year.
What a start she's having. Phenomenal first for her. Just showing why it was a smart move to put her in net. Head coach Joe Johnson also has to be encouraged by the play of Hope Heisey. That's a couple of starters that you put into your starting 11, and they are directly impacting this contest in a positive way.
Well, Zephyr fans, get match ready with the latest Zephyr merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Foul called on the battle there between Cecile Flood Nielsen and Haley Thomas. Flood Nielsen clearly upset on that one. Rightfully so after having all that green space in front of her.
Yes, and thought she got the ball cleanly, did get the ball there, and as you mentioned, was ready to get off to the races before the whistle was blown to slow her down. You have to give credit to Tampa Bay defensively. Their front line in Flood Nielsen, Nasello, and Timrak have been wreaking havoc for Spokane's back line. Just the pressure. They are defending so well, and it's allowing Tampa Bay to win the ball in some high, dangerous areas of the field.
Viv Bissett to Jordan Listro, the USF alum. Well, in the aftermath of both Hurricanes Helene and Milton, the USL has partnered with United Way Suncoast to help the Tampa Bay area recover from the devastation the storm left behind. To learn how you can get involved, scan the QR code or visit www.uslsoccer.com/Milton to ensure individuals and families have the access to resources they need to recover. Talking with Tampa Bay Sun head coach Denise Schulte Brown. She told us this team has such a big heart for the Tampa community after these hurricanes. A couple of Tampa Bay's own had their homes destroyed. They had to evacuate, and they said, you know, we just want our fans to know we appreciate their support so much, and we want them to know how much we support them in this time. They hope to bring a little sunshine by performing well.
Yes, and these moments, they're so much bigger than sports, and just remind you of how important community is and support is, and it's great to see them doing their part to help show their fans how much they mean to them.
Vigiano creating space, sends it way over to the far side, and it will be a throw-in on the way for Tampa Bay. Talk about good fashion. I mean, I know she's wearing a winter coat, but Denise Schulte-Brown, can we talk about the earrings?
I've been noticing them, and I was, again, in my mind debating, do I bring them up? Do we talk some fashion? And I think we should.
Yes, I think it's very important.
Sunshine with their volunteer work that they're doing off the field. She's bringing some sunshine to the sidelines with her. It's the swag, it's the style for me.
Have 1 minute of stoppage time here in this first half.
I think this is an important opportunity as this half is trickling on to see if either team can get that go ahead, and Tampa Bay looking for one now.
Here's Nielsen. She finds Edmonds. Edmonds. Can she use her moves once again in the corner? Timrak. To Moore. Moore will take it herself with a shot, and saved once again by Hope Heisey.
Well, how about the game that we are seeing from Jade Moore? She is everywhere. Erica Timrak just plays this ball across to Moore, who's got some more open space, able to open up with her first touch, and look at how well she hits that, trying to tuck that one into that left post. But with the way that Hope Heisey's been playing so far today, going to need a little bit more gusto on your shots to get it around Hope Heisey at this point of the contest.
Zephyr fans, scan the QR code to get your single match tickets today. This is the last home match of the season for Spokane Zephyr before they hit the road for the rest of the fall calendar. This ball sent forward, targeting Jenny Vetter.
Yeah, and for Spokane with great home fan in attendance too.
This half stoppage time is presented by Resource Supermarkets. 1 minute added on.
Well, with a good showing of fans in attendance for Spokane, trying to get that first win since September 22nd. Spokane's been progressing as this game goes on, opening up a little bit more in their offensive end to create some more opportunities.
A goal kick now for Tampa Bay.
Imagine that Kozel's just going to take her time here, and she does. Take her time, run some seconds off the clock.
At the half, the score is
and that will be it for the first half.
Stick around,
even at 0 apiece between Tampa Bay Sun and Spokane Zephyr, and the first ever meeting between these two clubs. Renee, what stands out to you from this first half?
Tampa Bay definitely had the better of possession throughout, and just continuing to try to figure out in the attacking third how they can create. It's been Jade Moore and Sydney Nacello that they've been playing through a lot in their offense, whereas on the other side for the home team at Spokane, it got better as the half went on. Some great defensive plays, some great saves, and they were able to build off of that momentum, especially on the other end with Jenny Vetter helping to give them opportunities getting forward.
Yeah, Joe Johnson told us that Jenny Vetter was going to be an exciting add to this group, and she certainly provided that spark. Well, let's bring in now the keeper for Spokane Zephyr, Hope Heisey. Hope, you've been tested quite a bit in your first start, your first minutes for Spokane Zephyr. How would you evaluate that first half of yours?
Yeah, I think, you know, we worked all week on staying compact. We know they like to get wide and cut in, so I think if we continue to compete in those duels on the flanks, I think we got to do a better job in that regard. But, you know, my job is just to communicate and make sure we stay as compact as possible to try and limit what they're trying to do.
Well, Hope, some phenomenal saves we saw from you in the first half. What adjustments do you guys need to make, though, especially defensively, to minimize these chances?
Yeah, I think we got to do a better job keeping the ball in the first place, because our possession could be our best defense, but the duels in the flanks, we definitely got to clean up. If we're sending 3 players, they can't get out of those duels.
Hope, thank you so much for the time. We'll let you get back to the locker room. Good luck this second half.
Okay. Thank you.
That's Hope Heisey. She's been certainly active in this first half. We're even at 0-0 between Spokane Zephyr and Tampa Bay Sun. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up for you right after this.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
This is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of a movement, and this is our moment.
Jealous of these fans' popcorn, I think Renee and I are, but I think that just tells how hungry we are at this point. It's scoreless at the half in Spokane. Let's take a look back at the early action from this afternoon around the USL Super League. It was Brooklyn taking on Fort Lauderdale United, and Brooklyn picked up their 5th win of the season.
Yes, Brooklyn continued where they left off Wednesday against Tampa Bay to get a first goal. And in the celebration, Mackenzie tucked pass to Sam Kroger to find the back of the net. This time, Sasha Pickard finds Mackenzie. Georgiou slots it across to Dana Sheriff. And then Luana Gabriel finds Mackenzie George. George gets a goal and an assist on the game. And Brooklyn FC up 3-0. And then as that game went on, they ended up dropping a goal, but still won that one 3-1.
Let's take a look at the standings. And Tampa Bay Sun with 10 points. And Spokane Zephyr sitting at the bottom of the table. A couple of changes after this week 11, but how about Carolina and Brooklyn? 17 points apiece, tied atop the standings.
Yes, every game that's much more crucial for getting points, climbing the table, and Brooklyn FC with back-to-back wins ties themselves up for the top of the table with 17 points with Carolina Ascent FC. This is just how close the league is. From top to bottom, just 10 points, the difference.
Well, these fans are hoping their Spokane Zephyr team can pick up a win as it's their last time to see them at home for this fall calendar. We'll be back right after this.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
Hey fans, did you post a picture to social media and use the hashtag? Check the video board and see if your post made it.
Back in Spokane, scoreless at the break. How about the face painting from these kiddos getting ready for Halloween? Let's take a look around the USL Super League. Lots to be excited about right now around the league. National team call-ups, 8 players playing for their countries, a couple 3 from Spokane getting some action. And how about Allie Flanagan in her debut for DC Power? Bagging a brace to get their first home win, and caught a couple other braces. Ashlyn Serupka and Madison Parsons getting it done on the offensive end.
Yes, this is the exciting time. We're seeing some international windows that players are going to be stepping into, missing club time, but also goals, and more goals. Always an exciting time when you get braces and first for a club and first across the league.
Well, as the fall calendar rolls on, here's a look at the schedule for this upcoming week. Thursday, it's Brooklyn and Spokane. battling it out at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then on Saturday, we've got 2 games, Dallas versus Fort Lauderdale and Tampa taking on Lexington. All right, well, we've got the second half coming your way next. It's scoreless here in Spokane, but both teams hoping to find the back of the net and pick up a win here on this Sunday afternoon.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
Let's go, Spo. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Spo.
Let's look back at the first half between Tampa Bay and Spokane Zephyr. Renee, what do you make of this first half?
This was the chaos that started with Jenny Vetter's service across the box. 5, 6 different opportunities. Here comes number 7. Spokane just getting so many numbers forward. And then as the half trickled on, it was the defense by the front line of Tampa Bay that led to opportunities. This time getting forward, a good look that we saw on the attack in transition by Sydney DeCello. And then around the edge was Kristen Edmonds slicing through 1-2, slots it back, top of the box. We're going to find Jade Moore. Moore shot from distance, no good. And then Tampa Bay continued on the attack, trying to create. DeCello, one of those creators, slots it through to Erica Timrack. A fantastic save by Hope Heisey on the 1 and the 2 to keep this game scoreless.
Get a look at Sydney DeCello and talking with her teammate Carly Jamona earlier this week. She said, gosh, Sydney is just so hard to guard. She's so unpredictable. We've talked about that a number of times today. And she goes, but we don't even know what she's going to do half the time, which makes it fun to watch. But she's always someone you can rely on to get things done, and changes direction with the ball is fast as anyone, said head coach Denise Schulte-Brown. So an exciting player that has had a hand in nearly every offensive opportunity here this afternoon for Tampa Bay.
And honestly, I'm sure Sydney Acello doesn't even know what she's going to do sometimes. You can see she just goes with the flow. Whatever the game presents, she just runs off of it. And so for Tampa Bay, as they're looking for some of that final third creativity, she is a player you want to build off of. We highlighted and talked about Cecile Flood-Nielsen. We've seen the work from Erica Timrak. Their front four with Jade Moore. I think they've got a good group there that they can be able to find some success through if they continue building.
Erica Timrak had started in 6 games this season and wasn't in the starting lineup back on Wednesday versus Brooklyn. Now is back in the starting lineup this afternoon, and I really liked the addition to her play up top and what she's been able to do for this Sun team.
Yes, and I like just hearing what head coach Denise Schulte-Brown had to say about her leadership and how she's been evolving in this group. And you could see it translate into her play as well, just bringing that extra level. She's growing into a nice leader for them, leads on and off the field as a player, and you can see her leading this attack so far this game.
Second half, here we go. At One Spokane Stadium, Renee Washington, Bridget Howard with you on the call this afternoon. As we talked with Hope Heisey before the half, the keeper for Spokane Zephyr, you know, she said moving forward for this Spokane team, we have to be more compact defensively, win our duels on the flanks, and be better at just keeping the ball. So look to see them hopefully do all those things here in this second half.
It's always great to hear from goalies because they have such a great awareness of the breakdowns in the game, and she gave some great coaching-like points.
And a shot from distance from Spokane, deflected off Tampa Bay, and it will be Spokane's first corner kick of the afternoon.
Well, that's a positive for the home team. After having a first half without a corner kick, they come out in the opening minutes to create one. Canales will get on the ball here. We've been seeing them, especially through Vetter, getting their offense to continue to build, generating more, and this is their first opportunity in the opening part of the second half, a great one at that, to see what they can do here to get a go-ahead goal.
Ball played into the box, cleared out by Tampa Bay. That corner kick brought to you by ICCU, your financial success fan club. Canales at the top of the box shoots one wide. And that'll be another deflection for a corner kick. Once again, brought to you by ICCU, your financial success fan club.
Marley Canales takes the first corner, and then well done by Spokane to win the ball back, find Canales again. That shot, a great one from distance that just split through a sea of traffic. Just on the backside, it kind of caught everybody by surprise. You wonder, could a player like Cindy Cummings have continued to run to touch that one home? Either way, still scores, and another chance here for Canales.
Ball in, headed by Cummings. And it will be a goal kick for Tampa Bay. Well, Zephyr fans, scan the QR code for your chance to win an $100 gift card to Rosara Supermarkets, official grocery store of your Spokane Velocity and Zephyr FC.
Well, after a first half where Tampa Bay came out as the aggressors, it's Spokane that's come out. You can see they've made some adjustments. Their line is higher defensively, pressuring a little bit more with their forwards. In the first half, they kind of gave Tampa Bay's backline time to see options, but look at the pressure and pursuit here by Spokane.
Going back to the corner kicks, we've already seen 2 in the early moments of this second half, but Joe Johnson told us that set pieces were something they worked on quite a bit this week heading into this match, and they did a lot of, practices and things where it was first contact on defending corners, but also doing set piece wars, and because you're able to work on the same things in those specific drills. Here comes Tampa Bay, ball across.
I have to give credit to Sydney Cummings. She's had a few chances now throughout the course of this game where she's perfectly timing how she steps to disrupt the services into the box by Tampa Bay. Had another big one there moments ago. To your point, though, for Spokane, they've been wanting to be better defending and attacking on services, and we'll see if they can do a better job attacking here.
Comes Jenny Vetter with the ball across to Jaskinik, and this will trickle to Kozel. Jenny Vetter, we said she was the spark in the first half. She continues to bring the energy on the near side.
Just remarkable that she's been a player that's typically is a 10 to 15 minute spark plug off of the bench, and you look at what she's brought as a starter. She's been one of the best players on the field for Spokane, just continues to get forward. Every time the ball's around her, something positive is happening. So I imagine she will no longer be just a 10 to 15 minute player for Spokane, even after today's game.
You can see why there as she wins this battle with Kristen Edmonds. She puts the ball across the box and just misses Natalie Vigiano. What a ball from Vetter.
Vetter again, this time defends well against Kristen Edmonds, times her tackle, gets forward, attacks the end line, does enough to be able to draw Tampa Bay out of position, and then look at this slotted ball across the back line, well placed, nicely done by Vetter, nearly able to connect with Natalie Vigiano on the back post. Vetter with some claps and positive reinforcement for her team to try to build off of that.
My initial thought was she served that ball too early, but it looked like it was great timing. Just got it out in front of the outstretched arms of Kozel. Vigiano just misses on the back post.
Those are the plays that typically, if you're Vigiano, you have to keep going. I don't know, I didn't watch her enough off the ball to see if she slowed down at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was unsure or not, if that service was going to come across. You've got to trust your teammate in Vetter, commit to that run. She slid, she almost got there, but I'm sure if Vetter continues like this, she might have another chance.
Vetter wave for the foul on Kristen Edmonds. And again, Joe Johnson was really excited to see what Vetter would be able to do with more significant minutes with Ekich out on international duty. Said she's a surprising one for us, and for Zephyr fans, I'm sure she's a surprise for them as well, being able to see her with more minutes here this afternoon.
Well, this is the beauty of the game, is there are always more opportunities to try to earn minutes, and with this international window does give that and present a chance for Vetter to show what she can do in a bigger role.
Here comes Tampa Bay and Fleur Nielsen. Almer sends this one wide.
I do think Tampa Bay has to continue to get Fleur Nielsen involved, as we saw in that last play. That's what she can do so well. Great job using her body to hold balls up, but also can spin defenders to get end line or get services into the box. We saw what Sydney Nasello brought in the first half. Erica Timorak had moments as well. I think if they can continue the flow through their front three. See what I did there?
I see what you're doing
then
there.
I think it could be positive for Tampa Bay. I won't toot my own horn on that one. That's not that creative.
The USL Super League kicked off its inaugural Division I Professional Women's Soccer League in August, featuring 8 teams located throughout the country. Watch all the Super League games and historic first, airing exclusively on NBC's Peacock Network.
Look at the work rate there by Erica Timorak to help win the ball back and send Tampa Bay the other way.
Edmonds plays it to Fleur Nielsen. And she will be waved offside, but a great opportunity for Tampa Bay.
Well, there it is. We mentioned getting 13 involved. Flo, as her teammates call her, makes a great run here. This all starts on the defensive side with Timorak able to pick the ball off to find Kristen Edmonds, who slots it forward. And you could see from that replay as it was slowed down, was in an offside position as that ball was played by Kristen Edmonds. But positive for Tampa Bay. Feels like they're knocking on the door, getting closer. That's a couple of good chances able to find Cecile Fleur Nielsen.
Ball rolls to Kozel. She clears it quickly to Hendricks. Spokane turns it over to Jordan Listro in the sun. Here comes Jade Moore. Tampa Bay in transition, moving up the pitch. Nasello and Haley Thomas. What an exciting duel we have on that far side.
Well, this half, we've already been seeing the swings and back and forth and momentum. It was Spokane to open up the game, and after Spokane Zephyr kind of cooled off a little bit, Tampa Bay started imposing their will, generating chances, finding their attackers, able to play through Flood Nielsen. So it's been back and forth the second half, a lot more as you could compare to the first half of both teams taking chances, looking to get around the edge, and playing a little bit more aggressive.
We'll scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, De Leon's Taco and Bar, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Jimmy John's Casa Top House, IHOP, and Steam Plant Restaurant and Brew Pub.
I treated myself to IHOP for breakfast today.
Timrak plays it through to Nasello, and Hope Heisey comes off her line to stifle that chance for the Sun.
Great opportunity. Every time we talk about food, something great happens afterwards. And again, it's Erica Timrak. She's been very active checking back to find the ball, unbalances the back line of Spokane Zephyr, and then able to slot that one forward to Nasello. I think her runs to check back have really been helping to open up some space for her forwards to run off of her. It's pulling the Spokane Zephyr back line to have to go with her, kind of creating a confusion as to who's supposed to chase her and allowing for Timrak to find some players forward.
Both Tampa Bay and Spokane coming off of losses. Tampa to Brooklyn and Spokane to Lexington. Both teams hoping to right the ship this afternoon.
Well, that's the key. When you drop a game, you don't want it to turn into a second. For Spokane, it's been 3 winless for them. For Tampa Bay, just the one this midweek contest. So you don't want that to snowball, and then that starts to affect your confidence, your mojo, any sort of momentum that you're looking to build in this stretch, especially with the end of the fall portion of the schedule so near. You want to finish out that the right way.
Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. Almer finds Murray. Murray keeps it, plays it out to Vigiano. Vigiano checking back in the midfield. Almer. And a shot sails over the crossbar from Julianne Valorant.
Now Valorant getting forward to help Spokane offensively generate a chance of their own. This game's really opening up here. Well done by Julianne Valorant to make the run forward, able to have a nice prep touch. That one just sails a bit too high, but you like the fact that Spokane's getting numbers into the attack and their outside backs are joining into play.
Erica Timrak finding Flood Nielsen. She puts it back towards goal. Timrak loses it in the 18.
It does feel like we're on the verge of a goal. I have no idea which side it's going to happen on, but both teams have had some good strikes this second half. The ideas, the creativity, but also you look at the movement. Watch this build up for Tampa Bay as everyone's moving off the ball for Nasello.
Nasello keeps it in on the end line. That extra touch. They're gonna call a foul on Nasello. Spokane with the free kick.
Bit heavy on that final touch there as Nasello was working up this left flank against Valorant and then tries to cut back as she saves it, does a good job keeping it in bounds, and then just a heavy touch here as she's contested by Valorant leads her to foul Vetter.
Looked like on that heavy touch towards the end line, there was some hesitation from Nasello as to what to do with it, which allowed Valerian to get that touch.
Yeah, since she had numbers in the box, could have served it, but instead elected to take the extra touch. But Tampa Bay has to make sure when you're making those runs in the box early, demand the ball so you can help make it easier for Nasello to see her options.
Back and forth between Marley Canales and Cecile Fleur-Nielsen.
Yeah, you take a look at this play again as Fleur-Nielsen is trying to hold the ball up and turn a little extra after the whistle. And then you see Canales go stepping to her. So as we talk about this game opening up and we feel like we're on the verge of a goal, the intensity, the aggression, we're seeing a little bit more chippy play on both sides. Getting stuck in on tackles, some harder plays.
Edmonds on the ball, free kick for Tampa Bay. Head official Danielle Chesky having a conversation with Nielsen after that encounter. Edmonds sends it to the near side to Nasello. Nasello earns a corner kick.
Well, this gives another opportunity for Erica Timrak to get on the ball. We talked about the set piece focus for both teams. Spokane wanted to make sure they're initiating contact on first and second balls, making sure they're getting on the back post. Tampa Bay, as they continue to generate corners, wanting to hit the different lanes to see if they can finish this one here.
This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Corner in, picked off by Hope Heisey.
Hope Heisey's having a tremendous game in her first start and also her first action of the season. Has come in very composed off her line for every major save she's had to make. Did get a little bit of sun that randomly came in. That's happened a few times now where the sun comes poking through. We saw in the first game of our doubleheader for today, the sun was a difference in a goal. Keep an eye on that if it's something that players are having to deal with, any blind spots or shadows or anything.
Scan the QR code for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Rizauer Supermarkets, official grocery store of your Spokane Velocity and Zephyr FC. Edmonds pokes that ball out of bounds. Marley Canales on the ball, and a battle results in a free kick. Marley Canales hearing some words from Tampa Bay.
Substitution for Tampa Bay, leaving the match, number 12, Jade Moore.
Jade Moore
coming on, number 29,
will exit as Andrea Huckstadter gets her first moments of the match. Another player who spent time at USF under head coach Denise Schulte-Brown.
Well, keep an eye on Marley Canales. We've seen her involved in a number of tussles as of late. Some situations where she's fired up. And the thing is, you want to see how that emotion can impact either side. Will it motivate them to get that big play, or will it cause them to get distracted, focus on the wrong things?
Marley Canales with the shot! Marley Canales picks up her first goal of the season. She was heated, and there she goes.
Did I say keep an eye on Marley Canales after getting caught in a couple of tussles? Listen, when you're fired up like this, you're putting nothing but heat behind your shot like Canales just did. Moments after getting involved in a little bit of a quarrel, Canales silences Tampa Bay, a dagger to the back of the net, and puts Spokane on the scoreboard first. That's the best way to channel any frustrations or emotions, to put the ball in the back of the net. Marley Canales makes no mistake on that one, hits it perfectly on a dime first time. What a beautiful finish by Marley Canales.
Well, and it hits off what it appeared to be the arm of Erica Timrak, dribbles to hit a ball with that type of precision from distance with that much pace behind it is no easy feat. But Marley Canales made it look easy there.
You know, sometimes you have the frustrating moments where you're seeing red. I think for Marley Canales there, she was just seeing a goal and was ready to put whatever was in front of her. The ball was going through, and she was not going to make any mistake about it. It's absolutely a difficult shot to finish. And for Marley Canales to have a chance like that first time and make no mistakes about it, well executed, as you mentioned. That's a difficult shot.
A couple of substitutions for Spokane. Alyssa Bourgeois in, Julianne Valorand out. Natalie Vigiano will step off, and it'll be Jody Ukekel on for Spokane. Tampa Bay now down 1-0. Free kick will be awarded after Giamona hits the ground. That was Bourgeois on the foul.
Yeah, Bourgeois, one of those subs that just came in, and you could see as soon as Carly Giamona went down that Tampa Bay just stopped, did not want to have any advantage played there. Sydney Nasello just kind of put her foot on the ball. Does set up for a great chance after conceding a goal with Erica Timrak on the ball out wide. This is a little bit off the end line in a wide position outside the box. Dangerous spot for a set piece for Tampa Bay to see if they can get an equalizer.
Bourgeois picks up her 11th foul on the year. Timrak with another set piece. Ball into the back post, headed by Giamona. Hope Heisey once again. You wouldn't know that this is her first start or first minutes of the season. She's been beyond impressive.
You'd have no idea if we didn't tell you. Hope Heisey has been fantastic. There's not enough adjectives I can use to describe her play. Does a good job cutting down the angle near post there. Makes the save. Just a phenomenal job of reading everything that Tampa Bay is throwing her way right now. And after scoring a goal, that's a huge play to keep Tampa Bay scoreless.
Nielsen takes it to the end line. Finds Listro. Edmonds on this near flank. Listro sends it to Hawksdotter. Hawksdotter with her first touches.
You know, Tampa Bay does not mind slowing the game down as they're doing here, just working it around, no rush. Everybody behind the ball except for one player for Spokane right now.
Timrak rejected at the top of the box by Ulmer. Katie Murray with time and space moves forward. Plays a long ball trying to find Jaskinik. Kozel clears it to Hendricks. It's rare you find Tampa Bay looking unsettled. They've got a lot of experience, and their composure on the ball shows in moments where some teams would be rattled.
Yeah, the reality is after conceding that goal, there's still a lot of time left, and this game has opened up in the second half. Both teams have had their opportunities. Spokane just put theirs away. Tampa Bay still very much in this one. No need to panic.
The Zephyr fans get match ready with the latest Zephyr merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Spokane working to get it out of their half of the field. Listro now on the ball for Tampa Bay. Timrak takes it forward. Timrak finds Fla Nielsen. Nielsen with the extra touch. Cleared out by Spokane.
Oh, that looked like it should have been the equalizing goal, and now Spokane trying to get out the other way.
Spokane to Vetter. Vetter has it on this near sideline. Turns and deflects it off Kristen Edmonds for a corner kick.
How about this? Erica Timrak slots it through. Great run, beautiful run by Cecilia Fla Nielsen. And then off of that, it does go the other way. Looked like Hope Heisey got a touch on that. That could have and should have been a goal. Hope Heisey with just enough to disrupt the touch by Fla Nielsen, and then the other way you get the chance by Vetter to set up a corner kick.
I don't think either of us realized that Heisey got a hand in there, but now it's a corner kick for Spokane. Canales plays it in. The ball hits off Haley Thomas on the back post. Spokane will reset. Canales plays it back in. Timrak comes up with the ball. Nacello with the heavy touch. It'll be a throw-in for Spokane.
Wow, so much to take in as Spokane's fans give them a much and well-deserved applause after this sequence. Great corner kick opportunity for them that all starts again on the other end with the incredible save by Hope Heisey to even set this up.
Brooke Hendricks attempts to clear it, misplays the ball, and it will be a Spokane throw-in once again on this near sideline. About Jenny Vetter. Jenny Vetter rips one herself, and a diving save for Lauren Kozel.
And again, Spokane, as they continue the attack here, Jenny Vetter turns inside, able to get some separation off the back line for a shot. Strikes that well back post. Just a great save on the other side by Lauren Kozel. This Spokane team has been scoring goals in their 3 winless games. That's 5 goals they scored in that stretch with a draw and 2 losses, but they gave up 7, losing each game by 1 goal. They've been in games. They've been scoring 2 goals, 1 goal here. Just have not been able to manage the game and get stops defensively. So now sitting on a 1-0 lead, very crucial for this team as they've given up goals as of late to see if they can and make sure they can hold on this clean sheet.
Jo Johnson told us, she wanted this group to take more shots heading into this match. She said sometimes they try and make it look too pretty, just rip one, and we've seen that today. But she also mentioned, we understand most goals are gonna be toe pokes. They're not gonna be pretty, they're not gonna look great, but Marley Canales made that one look darn pretty.
Yes, she did, and we were saying it, we felt like we were on the verge of a goal coming soon, and did not expect it to be that beautiful of a goal by Marley Canales. What a fantastic finish she had. But to your point, that's exactly what Spokane's been trying to focus on. A lot of times players would look to take a touch there, even on Canales' goal, look to take a touch, instead drills it first time. So just being ready to finish, which is something they've been talking about, you see it directly play off in that goal and in their play today.
Tampa Bay works it around their back line. Boots it to the near side for Sydney Nacello. Jenny Vetter getting it done on both sides of the ball.
what can't Jenny Vetter do today? Defensively, we're seeing the work rate. Offensively, of course, we've been seeing the prowess she's bringing. That's another play defensively. Doesn't foul, gets the ball cleanly. That's what you love to see from one of your attackers, putting in the work defensively too.
Substitution for Spokane. Marley Canales, the goal scorer, steps off, and we'll look back at her goal here.
Top 90, first time finish off of the set piece. A beautiful volley. And when you see what led up to that goal, the amount of tough tackles, and she had a couple moments jawing back and forth with some Tampa Bay players. Well, I was able to quite literally strike while the iron is hot and put one away.
That makes a goal that much sweeter.
It does.
Well, Molly Rouse, the England native, will step on in her place, getting her first minutes of the season. A lot of firsts for Spokane today. Edmonds with the moves once again. And Katie Murray will get a yellow card for standing too close for Danielle Chesky's liking.
Yellow card for Spokane in the 76th minute.
We'll have a sub now for Tampa Bay. Natasha Flint, one of the other international players to join this Tampa Bay team late this season.
Coming on, number 9.
Coming on for Jordan Listro. Natasha Flint has started in 1 game this season, played in 3, 4 shots on goal. Has picked up 8 fouls. She's another big body up top for Tampa Bay. Kristen Edmonds on the ball for this set piece once again. Free kick, near sideline. She goes to the near sideline again to Sydney Nasello. Nasello using her moves. And they'll call that a foul on Alyssa Bourgeois.
Sydney Nasello working up against the double team of Vetter and Bourgeois. Does not hesitate there, draws the foul. Another opportunity. This was in a similar spot that we saw earlier in the game. Erica Timrak had a set piece wide here before, and we saw a great save by Hope Heisey on that one.
Tampa Bay searching for a goal of their own here in this second half. Erica Timrak set to take this kick. Timrak sends it into the box. And Emma Jaskinek will get first touch. And initially looked like it would be a corner kick.
You don't see that often, an offside call on the set piece, which means a player started in the offside position early, and sometimes you will see a player purposely drift offside to try to push the line deeper. But an opportunity for Tampa Bay that they essentially wasted with a good ball in by Timrak that should be a corner kick for them, and instead is an offside call in favor of Spokane.
Taylor Almer, the captain for this Spokane team, goes down hard after a collision with Carly Jamona.
Well, we talked about it before, the intensity of this game continues to pick up as you look again at what led to Almer falling down. Both players just contesting for that 50-50 ball. This is where it is so crucial in this late part of the game. We talked about, although Spokane's been scoring goals, they've been conceding goals, which has been the difference of getting results. They have to find a way to hold on to this result and grind out this 1-0 lead, whereas Tampa Bay, trying to avoid dropping 2 in a row, needing to get something going offensively to be the difference maker.
Getting a look at the bundled up Tampa Bay players on the bench. Taylor Almer has to take a step off after being looked at by the trainers.
I know we touched on it before with Tampa Bay's game Wednesday against Brooklyn being their first in 21 days with a postponement, of course, dealing with weather issues around the hurricane. So this is their second game of the week after having 21 days off. Not using that as an excuse, but the reality is you're trying to get yourself back into some sort of game routine with having a disruption in your schedule like that. So while other teams are playing games, they were not. And now after dropping a Wednesday game, you'd hate for that to then spiral into a second in a row.
Well, and not only has their schedule been a bit funky with that time off, but this group flew over 100 miles for 100 hours here in Spokane, is what head coach Denise Schulte-Brown said. And she was really proud of her group, though, for having not complained once. They're ready. They know that it's a tall task being on the road and traveling as far as they have. And trying to generate that energy has been a focus for them. They came out with it in the early minutes versus Brooklyn on Wednesday, and there's been no shortage of energy in this match from them. They've been ready to go, but Marley Canales able to get a good look.
Spokane continuing on the attack. It has been very back and forth as we get a great pass here.
Emma Jaskinek gets an interesting touch on it. Kozel able to come up with the ball.
Yes, to your point, for Tampa Bay on the road, having traveled from Brooklyn to now Spokane, for anybody that's looking at the map, know that is not close. Handling it well, but now needing to handle this 1-0 deficit with some time. Some time on the clock, but not a lot of time on the clock, and the longer they defend in a play like this, the more difficult it makes it for them.
Well, another first coming onto the pitch for Spokane. It's Wayne Bellata getting her first minutes of the year, coming on for Katie Murray. Murray had the yellow card in the 75th minute. Bellata spent her college days at SMU. Was on the all-rookie team back in 2019. The American second team in 21. Get a look at Katie Murray making her way back to the bench. Ball played into the box. And Nielsen tracks back defensively, sends that one out of bounds.
Just see the pressure by Spokane right now, making it difficult for Tampa Bay to clear the ball and find a teammate as we get another look at Bellata in her first moments of the match.
Zephyr fans, scan the QR code to get your single match tickets today. This is the last home match of the fall calendar for Spokane Zephyr. They'll return home in March for the spring portion of this season. Jenny Vetter picks this ball off, eats up ground towards goal, trying to target Jaskinek, and rolls to Kozel.
It looked like Jenny Vetter just kind of got caught in between of a shot and a pass there. It was a heavy pass, but it was obviously not essentially a shot there. Vetter, who's had a lot of strong plays here today, couldn't really get that one, but how about that play defensively?
Jaskinek finds Vetter on this near sideline. She'll take her time in the corner. Spokane throw it.
That's a good response after Vetter was able to keep the ball in the corner from the pass by Jaskinek. Smart. Have to manage this game, have to maintain this lead if you're Spokane.
Select, the official matchball supplier of the USL Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-support.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. That ball nearly picked off by Bellotta. Nielsen moves her way with speed across the pitch, but doesn't get there in time.
And these are the moments when you're chasing a game that are so crucial for Tampa Bay. They cannot afford to turn the ball over in situations like that. You have to connect those passes. I remember the first half, they had a couple of similar plays where they had some self-inflicted turnovers, and it can be the difference in you defending right now or being on the attack.
Jaskinek has been active in this second half. They play it backwards. Hope Heisey way off her line. Spokane has lost by 1 goal in their last 2 matches. If you're the Zephyr, you're hoping you can tack on an insurance goal here. But the focus, as you mentioned, just hanging on to this lead. Pick up a win in your last home match of the fall calendar would give this group a nice boost of confidence as they look to a long road trip ahead.
Yes, the reality is when you break their schedule in half, the first half of the season, they only scored 2 goals in their first 4 contests. They were able to score, as I mentioned, 6, now 7 in the last 4 games, which is an improvement. They hadn't been able to score goals, and now as you're in this batch of games, although they're not getting results, they've been scoring goals. So now today is an opportunity to piece it all together. You get the goal and you can get the result if you're able to hold on for the remainder of this one.
Ashley Clark comes on for Sydney Nacello. Jasmine Enrique Abundis comes on for Brooke Hendricks, who we normally don't see come off the pitch. And then Paige Almendarez also on in place of Kristen Edmonds. So a couple of changes to that back line that has held strong.
Number 22, Paige Almendarez.
Played nearly every minute of the season together. So just to revisit those, Jasmine Enrique Abundis on, Paige Almendarez and Ashley Clark for Tampa Bay Sun. Jamona with a shot. Hope Heisey takes a minute, holds on to that ball, comes up with another save.
Yeah, Hope Heisey deserves I don't know, chocolates, a game ball. I don't even know what you give after a win like this. Her teammates hopefully will come up with something if they can hold on here. Just with the way she's been playing, so steady, so poised. As a keeper, you want your goalies to make all the saves they're supposed to make, plus 1 exceptional save. Well, she's made a few exceptional saves, point-blank opportunities that she's been able to get the save on and making it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Quick restart for Tampa Bay.
We talked about how equal these two teams are statistically and their team stats coming into today. Well, this game also been very even in honestly every category, and shots on goals. Possession has been more in favor of Tampa Bay, by no surprise though, as they're around 62.5% possession. And it's been very even back and forth. It's, as both coaching staffs have been reiterating to their groups, coming down to who can be more clinical in the 18.
We'll get a couple of extra minutes here in the second half, 5 minutes of stoppage time. As Tampa Bay looks to leave Spokane with hopefully a draw if they can tack on a goal here in the late moments.
Well, here's an opportunity for them off of the corner kick. Paige Almendarez, who just came in.
Ball sent into the box, headed out by Spokane. And that's exactly what Joe Johnson and the Spokane team has been looking for on set pieces. They've wanted first contact on defending corner kicks. This half stoppage time is presented by Rosauer Supermarkets. Another clearance from Spokane.
This is the tough part. You're playing urgent as the clock ticks on, but you cannot afford to turn the ball over. You have to play urgent with a purpose, and that purpose is to get you an equalizing goal.
You can see Tampa Bay playing with numbers forward. Kozel way off her line as well. Timrak. Bissett.
Yeah, for Spokane, they're going to try to just knock everything high and wide, as they rightfully should.
Ball played over the top. Almendarez battling it out with Jenny Vetter. And although Amina Ekic is away on international duty, Jenny Vetter has been a pleasant surprise in her place.
Absolutely, someone to build off of. You know, every game you're trying to find those small wins in addition to, of course, getting hopefully the actual win that you can build off of. And for Spokane, it's definitely Jenny Vetter as well as Hope Heisey. When you look at the way that they've played today, just really stepped up, elevated the overall tempo, made some big plays and game-changing plays as well.
Jamona plays it wide. Stodd on that far side. Thought maybe it was a handball. Headed by Nielsen. Almendarez gets a touch.
Again, Spokane just so smart. Everybody is dropped back, compact, keeping everything in front of them, just clearing everything high and wide.
Ball sent to Heisey. She secures it once again.
And again, as the clock continues to wind down for Tampa Bay, you want to generate those chances, but make sure they're good ones. It's quality shots, and that shot selection has to be ones that you feel confident can hit the back of the net. Otherwise, you just gave, as we just saw there, Hope Heisey can take her time, run some more seconds off the clock.
Having been winless in their last 3 matches coming into tonight, Spokane, if this score holds, looks to pick up their 2nd win of the season. Ball out wide, Ukekel. And And this is a Spokane team that's sitting at the bottom of the USL Super League standings right now. This is a big confidence win for them if they can hold here.
That's the thing, there's still so much soccer left to be played, as you talked about, with the schedule having a pause before the spring schedule begins. So much that is left in this season. It's still very much up for grabs for everyone. Huge confidence booster to have a win like this, at home no less.
Almendarez creating space, headed out by Spokane. And a hard tackle there by Ashley Clark.
Yes, you look back at this play, brought down, and Rouse goes tumbling down to the ground off of that play. Ashley Clark definitely gave a foul there. That's difficult because it now runs more time off the clock. That's essentially going to be the dagger, the final play that should end this.
And there you have it, Jo Johnson raising her hands. Hugs all around for this Spokane team as they pick up their second win of the season and cap off their home schedule, picking up their first win since September 22nd. And much deserved hugs going to their keeper, Hope Heisey.
Hope Heisey immediately drops down with a lot of emotion as that final whistle blew. You could just see her and her team put everything into this game. As you mentioned, their second win of the season. That's their first win since September 22nd. That's a long time to go practice after practice, game after game, and not get results. So emotion definitely at a high for Spokane at home to get a big, thrilling win like this, and a clean sheet nonetheless.
Well, let's take a look at today's play of the match, brought to you by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. And you talk about a fighter, Marley Canales.
Marley Canales able to take advantage of that opportunity. Off the set piece, ball bounces back to Canales, and no hesitation, puts it on frame. First time, a dagger top corner, and that was the difference in today's win for Spokane.
We talked about it, just you see some jawing back and forth sometimes, and that makes those goals that much sweeter. And just such a clinical finish at the top of the box from Marley Canales, picking up her first goal of the season. The game winner here in Spokane. And we've got Marley joining us now. Marley, we were just talking about that goal. Take us into that moment. There was some jawing back and forth, and then you put the dagger in the back of the net. How did that feel?
I was hoping the camera wouldn't catch that, but yeah, no, this Tampa team absolutely battled and brought out the best from us as well. And yeah, I just remember the free kick and my role is to be on top of the box, and so I just saw the ball come and was able to get good contact on it. But the first thing that came into my head was just, we have a long time left to keep this lead, and all I wanted and cared about was that we came out with a win.
Well, Marley, it was a beautiful finish, and you guys definitely battled, but it seemed like as the game went on, the energy, the intensity, you guys continued to open up the game. Or what changed in the second half, especially as the game wore on, that helped you guys get this win today?
Yeah, I just think we absolutely had a will to win. I mean, we knew this was our last home game for the rest of the calendar year, so we wanted to go out with a bang, and I think every single person on the field that came in, that started, was absolutely battling. So I'm so proud of this team, and we did it. I'm really proud of us.
Marley, would love to get your thoughts on Hope Heisey getting her first start of the year, first minutes. She came up big for this group, made a number of saves, and she dropped down after the match and that final whistle with full of emotion. How proud are you of her and the performance she put on today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for her. We had a few debuts today, and obviously Hope's first start, so everyone just battles. I mean, that's what this team's about, and when you get your chance and you're called upon, we trust in everyone on this team. So I'm really proud, happy for her. She deserved a shutout, and so I'm happy that we could give that to her.
Marley, congratulations on the win and your first goal of the season. It was a banger. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It's Marley Canales from Spokane Zephyr, helping her team to their second win of the season. We've got more coming up for you as we revisit this game today between Spokane and Tampa Bay. Stick with us.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
When spring 2025 rolls back around, Spokane Zephyr FC will too, for part 2 of their inaugural season. You could witness all 7 spring home matches with a spring match pack. Tickets to 7 fast-paced matches in a fun, soccer-crazed environment at one Spokane stadium. Plus, you'll get season ticket holder benefits like merch discounts, a VIP party, and more. Visit uslspokane.com to score your spring match pack now.
In their last home match until March 2025, Spokane Zephyr picks up their second win of the season thanks to a goal from Marley Canales, her first on the year. And let's take a look back at the highlights from today. Both teams came out with the energy, and Tampa Bay got to work early.
Yes, it was a fun one. Cindy Nacello there defensively puts in the work and then trying to squeeze that one near post, but Hope Heisey had something to say about that one, denied. And then off of the set piece, this is the goal that we saw. A beautiful finish by Marley Canales, first time off the set piece. You look here as that ball drops off of Erica Timrak. Canales, head down, puts it away, buries it, top 90, tucks it into that right post, and gives Spokane the 1-0 lead. And then as the game was trickling on, Tampa Bay trying to get an equalizer. Erica Timrak spins and is able to slot this one forward, does a nice job finding Cecile Flood-Nielsen, and then unable to get that ball on frame because of another tremendous save by Hope Heisey. And then late, as Spokane's managing the game, this time it's Jenny Vetter that cuts inside, able to get that shot top of the box as that one was saved.
And with some players out on international duty, Jenny Vetter, one of the stars of this match, getting some much-needed minutes, and she made the most of them.
Yes, she did. And for this Spokane team, although they were outpossessed, 15 shots, 6 of them on target, both teams with 6 shots on target. Listen, this game was very back and forth, evenly played. It was just Spokane that was better at executing with their chance around the goal.
Well, Spokane picking up their second win of the season, their first in over a month. You could tell that this Zephyr team and these fans were excited. And what a send-off for the last home match of this fall calendar for the Zephyr. It was a fun one this afternoon. From my partner Renee Washington, our producer Emma Watson, our entire crew, I'm Bridget Howard, and that's a wrap on Week 11 from Spokane.